Alright, folks, it's time for a more detailed update on the mass car arson in Sweden. A story from Monday, if you saw my previous video. At any rate, it's now been a few days and there is some more information out. So let's dive into it, shall we? They've identified, I think, at least three suspects, apprehended at least two of those. One guy, and this is an important detail, was apprehended in Turkey after they were onto him and managed to catch whiff of him leaving through an airport. I do believe it was Malmö that I read in southern Sweden. Not entirely sure on that specific detail, but they did apprehend him in Turkey. Now, of course, many asked the origins and pondered on the origins and background of these assailants. Now, obviously, he may have been an ethnic Swede who figured, well, I'll torch a few cars and then fly over to Turkey for a nice summer vacation. You never know. So yeah, at least he was apprehended. They got onto these guys fairly quickly and interviewed and interrogated some family members and friends. The police currently believes that they may have coordinated and orchestrated these serial attacks on social media. The degree to which all of these are interconnected is not completely known, according to the best of what I could just read. So, but yeah, this is what they seem to believe at this point. Now, a lot of people also asked about the particular neighborhoods because that makes a difference, and I agree. Now, I haven't been to Gothenburg in about 8 years. So last time was in 2010. I was through there several times back then, as I was driving a big 18-wheeler cargo truck throughout Europe. But again, that's 8 years ago. It's obviously changed a lot. All of Sweden, all of Europe has changed a lot in that time. But what I did manage to read up on is that at least out of these neighborhoods and boroughs and cities listed in these articles, at least Hjällbo in the Gothenburg area and this area Frölunda, at least those are on what the police call exposed areas. It's the most politically correct term you can find. So there's a report from the Swedish police from 2017, actually, where they list these sort of exposed areas, which I'm assuming would equate what we call no-go zones in a less censored language. But yeah, you can read through that. It's going to be on page 41 of that report, and I'm going to toss that into the description box with all the other links. So yeah, so at least there are those, and the suspects, at least in Gothenburg, are claimed to have been from Frölunda, which is an area that is said to have quite a bit of immigration. Now, I found a foreign student who had lived there who documented about the area, saying it was not as bad as the rumor would have it. Not sure how I'd feel about it now. I mean, yeah, one shooting at some point, he said, but that's like they can happen anywhere, which I agree. Shootings can happen anywhere for any particular reason. But yeah, this area is now, to the best of what I can find, listed as a low income, high immigration, etc., etc., and a lot of people on welfare or social issues and so forth and so on. Now, I'm having a hard time finding exactly which areas were affected in some of these other places, like Lysekil and Alafors. But yeah, this is what I can find on that for now. Now, of course, you can take some of this and look up articles and keep that list of affected areas, if you will, or exposed areas um, on the side and do your own work. So, at any rate, there we have that. What else can I add into this? Yeah, well, I think this is pretty much all we know for now. Now, again, this is it's very hard to deal with Swedish media at this point. Now, obviously, the guy being apprehended in Turkey is it's very hard for them not to document that detail. They still haven't released any of the background details, ethnic origins, names of these assailants. So we really don't know, to be intellectually honest. So make of it what you will. But at any rate, there's quite a bit here, and this I'm finding such conflicted numbers of cars totaled. I mean, some say 80, some say close to 100 or around 100. And it's really tricky, but I mean, this is a very, very bizarre case. Several places in the same night. So it's a sizable event to say the least, and they're even in media they seem to be pondering whether this is going to affect the upcoming general election, which quite frankly I believe it will, and giving out less information that rather than more in the media is not going to change things, especially now. People are just going to jump to conclusions where they when they read that one suspect was apprehended in Turkey, regardless of what the facts are. So yeah. Anyways, that's it for now. I'll toss you a whole bunch of links and descriptions and details that like in the description box for you to check out as you dive into this on your own, should you be interested. But the minute I see something sizable in terms of new information or get a whiff of it, I'll share that. I'll look into this again in another few days. Do a quick Google search and see if I found anything. But yeah, that's it for now on the Sweden mass car arson story. At any rate, Viking out. This is super awkward because I'm moving the mouse again. Viking out.